Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting each other while we stand as a united front and fight towards one collective goal, and that being freedom. Last time I spoke, I gave quite a raw overview of my life and experience and why I believe that I personally can help. For those of you who weren't there, I was heavily oppressed and abused for the first 17 years of my life. Most who hear my story can't help but tell me, it's not your fault. Let me concentrate on that for a little bit. It's true that it wasn't my fault. I was born into a situation in which I was taught in many ways that being oppressed was part of life. Oh, wait, isn't that all of us? Yeah, interesting, eh? How we can dispute severity, but we can dispute situational, but aren't we all experiencing this? Now, my story goes on like this. In and around 16 years old, I started to have stable friendships, an interest in relationship. I was part of sports teams. I had lots of groups of friends and participated at school activities. I had so much positivity in my school life and felt very loved. So the hope of going to university and college and having a future, that was important all of a sudden. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I deserve more. I'm a kind person. Why is this happening to me? I want to be free. I want to live my life full of love. And the truth is, loving myself all of a sudden in an oppressed system was causing so much pain, a lot of it. And that's why we cling to ignorance. That's why we cling to toxicity, because it's hard. It hurts. How did I get out? That's easy. Those feelings of hurt turned into focus and passion. I decided not to allow abuse to continue. So simply said, over the course of a year or so, I used my intuition, intelligence, and my voice in order to end my toxic cycle. Did I achieve that goal by saying it wasn't fair? Or by insulting my father? No, neither. I achieved that goal by saying I love myself too much to take this anymore. I project love, I am love, and I will be free. My gift through my trauma is emotional intelligence. What I'm working on, and what I want to help you guys work on, is emotional control. That being said, let me graze on some controversial subjects. Now this is how I can help. Perspective. Being in an oppressed situation and having gotten out, I can see clearly what led me to stay for such a long time without fighting back. Distractions. For instance, in my case, my father would remove a privilege, like some computer time, blame it on the fact that my mother was spying on me. You can imagine the fights that created. Some seem to be very talented in this way, keeping a person or a group of people occupied with each other or themselves in order to remain in control. My father would do other things, like blame us for him getting sick or hurt. He would break something of ours and then break the other, and blame the other, The more effective methods, though, to remain in control was favoritism. Just like my father was switching from my mother to I being the favorite, the government is doing that too, through movements that have made for political gain and not change. For example, religious disputes against other religions, science versus religion in the first place, pharmaceuticals versus nature, man versus woman, black versus white, straight versus LGBTQ, and honestly, I don't know the rest of the letters, but I know there are some. Masks and no masks, and now sheep versus wolf. So, of course, all humans should have equality. That's not even to be thought of. We all think that. Regardless of their color, their country, their religion, their views, their belief systems, their sexuality, their gender, and or their personality. It is simply ridiculous that we're still fighting amongst ourselves for equality. Paperwork can be voted on and changed in an actual democracy. This is not what we're currently living in, or what we have been living in for hundreds of years. Our system has been corrupted, and our courts are decided by judges and Crown staff, and not by a jury which represents us, our community. Our laws are not even taught to our people or to our children, or even to lawful representation. Lawyers know nothing of the law. They only know law of corporation, which only applies to corporation. It doesn't apply to man or woman. It doesn't apply to human. It doesn't apply to your property. It doesn't apply to your business. It only applies to corporations. That's it. So, how can one fight for their freedom if all along we believe that we have none? It's funny, because we literally have all the power. That's the real answer. We represent the 99%. The 99% regardless of them being here or not. All of us want this corrupt system gone. We want this to end. We want to go home and live our lives. Look into common law. Read the Constitution. Read the Forefathers Monument. Study your charter and human rights of freedom. Smile to people. Communicate with them. Even when you think their opinion is ridiculous. Being strong is about being unmoving. They would love a civil war. How about we give them a revolution instead? Thanks, everyone.